If you'd like to change the color of your background, there's now construction paper available under the TV. When watching your video, if you just tap the screen, you can see the whole thing happening. So I'm going to tap play and then tap screen, so it looks a lot better. If you forgot to put a title on yours, it'd be nice if you could just tap on it and give a title, but it doesn't work that way. This is a free app and you have to pay extra for these other options. So a workaround is to just go back to home and then come down here to My Movies, and yours being the newest one should be right there on top, and that's how you get to the plus sign. And then you can rename it or delete it. Thank you, Asher, for pointing out something that I very clearly overlooked. Right down here, it says 30 FPS frames per second. So if you want it to look slower, you can slow it down, but you'll see that 9 frames per second is much more choppy. And closer to 30, the smoother it looks. And then 30 frames per second looks the best. If it's too fast, take more pictures. Now that we're incorporating plastic animals with clay and with dry erase marker, which is, I think, great, there are some challenges, one of which is to keep the clay from getting on the dry erase board. You see a clear space here where it's nice, and then you get other stuff over here. So if you're gonna roll it out and you need to put it on something, please don't roll it on the whiteboard. Instead, on the table is fine. We can clean the tables off. But when you roll it on the whiteboard and then you use a marker, that the clay film will stick to the marker and the marker doesn't work anymore, okay? Also, it gets on the eraser because you're erasing things. Also, these are fancy new erasers. Use the fuzzy side as the erasing side. Just like mixing the clay, please don't mix the markers. If you want to put them side by side, you can do that. But please don't cross colors with the markers because some of them get darkened and they don't look as good. When the cap is on the marker, make sure that it's all the way on. Snap the cap. Make sure the cap goes in the back of the marker, that way you don't lose it. Several students were wondering how the artist in My Baby Snake video was able to include his hand in there. Capture, capture, move a little. Capture, capture, move a little.
Capture, capture, move a little. Capture, capture, move a little.
Each letter, it takes several pictures per letter so you can actually have time to read the message.
A little bit of drawing, and then capture, capture, and then a little more. Capture, capture, and then a little more. Capture, capture. This takes a little longer, but if you have a teammate to help you.
So obviously, I'm looking at multiple cameras. I'm looking at this camera, and then I'm looking at this camera. I'm looking at the screen, and you cannot see the end. But you get the idea. It looks like it's trying to sell. What's the trick?
Draw a little bit, capture, capture. Draw a little, capture, capture. Draw a little, capture, capture. Draw a little, capture, capture.
And make sure it fits on the screen.